honestly, Patrick Bet-David, you should know better. You're a grown man. You claim to be a patriot. You're a 47-year-old man. And you have this whole shtick, I'm an alpha male, I'm a businessman, I'm no nonsense, I'm not woke. You're buying into this crap? You're buying into this? What a joke. You should know better. Everybody should know better. And you should have your friends back. Andrew Tate is your friend. He's been on your show for years. He is being unfairly attacked, and he is forced to defend himself because he is vulnerable. Why are they going after him? Because he is vulnerable, because he is a political target. He's vulnerable because he's in between jurisdictions. He's one of the most wanted men in the world, and you know as well as anybody else, this is completely over the top. It is an overreaction. It is purely political. It is not proportionate. It's not fair. It doesn't make sense. It is woke. And they're coming after your friend, and they're making him crawl on his belly because they know they got him by the balls, because they know he's in trouble. And you, as a man and as a patriot, as a guy, should understand that. And you should see that, and you should have your friends back. If you want to tell them behind the scenes, man to man, hey, that wasn't really a good idea, you've got a promising career, that was childish, you want to tell them that man to man out of concern, you do that behind the scenes. You do that off camera. In front of the camera, you present a united front. Your friend is under attack. It's bullshit. It is a crock of shit. You know it. Everybody knows it. These people are cry bullies. They're gangsters. It's a double standard. Everyone knows it. Everyone is sick of it. You should have your friends back. You should have sat them down and you should have said, you know what? It's trolling. It's dumb. It's childish. But it is unfair what they're saying about you. I know you. You're a good guy. You're not hateful. This is completely exaggerated. That should have been your response. That is what any real man would say. Anybody that is a true adult, a true guy, no nonsense conservative should be able to see what this is. And it's a load of crap and should have their friends back. And as a patriot should say, this is un-American to be crying and carrying on about all this stuff. What do you have to say about the ADL issued a statement? The club fired 3 people? The mayor of the city says this is a crisis? You don't got nothing to say about all that? You think that's normal? You think that's chill? Do you think that even makes sense? Is that normal? It's insane.
Yeah, so I agree with Nick right here. I think, and coming from somebody who actually does like watching PBD podcasts, I think a lot of people were very disappointed in the type of hostile environment that they had for Andrew Tate, whether you like Andrew Tate or not. And we really think it's Adam Sosnick, the one Jewish guy co-host that even Patrick Bet-David himself gets annoyed visibly from episodes we've seen. He was very hostile towards Andrew Tate. And it's funny because Andrew Tate has gone through a lot of stuff with the court system in Romania. He's been friends with them, smoked cigars, went over to Romania. They've been through a lot, okay? I mean, in a short period of time, they were friends. But it took Andrew Tate to be in an environment dancing to the HH song for Adam Sosnick to actually press him during the interview and be very hostile. And Nick is actually right. They will actually just want you just to bend down to your knees, apologize, and just... it's like a cowardly thing. So if that's your friend, you should not have approached that interview. That's the first time. They've done interviews plenty of times. That was the first time they were very hostile. And I think Patrick Bet-David, everyone was disappointed in the way he handled it. And just letting Adam, it just felt like an ambush altogether. And I think a lot of people weren't fans of it. Whether you do like Andrew Tate or not, it is proven a stereotype what a lot of people are saying.
Instead, we get a 50-minute struggle session. You let your emotional co-host, who is a Jew, and by the way, this little Jew, he offends everybody. He offends women. He offends Muslims. He offends black people. He's very politically incorrect. He came up to me when I was in your studio and said, yeah, we shouldn't let women vote, and we got a problem with black people, and we got to fight these Muslims. That's the kind of guy he is. When somebody plays a troll, controversial edgelord song and Jews are the butt of the joke, what does he say on your show? He says, and I quote, Florida is where racism goes to die. Oh, really? So we as big tough guys, big anti-woke, no nonsense tough guys, listen up, youngster, I'm 50 years old. We can offend black people, we can offend women, we can offend Muslims, we can offend everybody. Oh, a Jew was the butt of a joke in a song? Oh, well, now we're anti-racist. Now it's not enough to be not racist, we must be anti-racist. If you sit at a table, if 10 people sit at a table with one racist, there's 11 racists. Oh, now we're woke, huh? And now you're going to let the aggrieved minority hijack the whole conversation, and he turns it into a struggle session. On and on and on and another thing and another thing, and you should have known better, and we don't play those games here. We don't play songs that offend Jews here. Really? This is a deficit of courage. This is a deficit of fucking balls. That's what this is. Where's the balls? Huh? And you know what's funny? Patrick Bet-David had Bibi Netanyahu on the show. I think they gave him less of a hard time about being a war criminal than Andrew Tate playing a song. Yeah, think of that. Benjamin Netanyahu is a wanted war criminal. He is charged by his own government for corruption, credibly accused of committing a genocide. You have him on the show, you barely press him about that. Andrew Tate comes on the show, you press him for 50 minutes because he was present while a song played in a nightclub in South Beach. Really? Does that make any sense to anybody? Does that even make sense? And it's on the men, because you expect, especially the older guys, you expect the older guys to be able to call balls and strikes and say, you know what, this is woke garbage, this is PC, this is emotional, this is over the top. You expect grown men to be able to call out the nonsense, not to drink the Kool-Aid, not to buy into it. He's going to go and participate in this humiliation ritual. I'm watching this roundtable of guys that are lecturing me. You're childish, you're immature, you need to grow up, you shouldn't say these things. This is a round table. These guys are pushing 40, pushing 50, crying for 50 minutes about a song because that's what everyone's supposed to do because the Jews are mad. Really? Where's the courage? And that's really what it comes down to in this country. Everybody knows what is going on.
I agree with Nick right here. They had so many different things they could have talked about. They spent the whole first 50 minutes of the interview talking about that controversial Miami nightclub scene stream with Clavicular, Myron, Sneeko, all those guys. Yeah, so everyone was just disappointed and they're very hostile. They could talk about any other thing over and over again. That's the only thing they wanted to talk about. I get it. It's viral. You're showing that you guys are clout hungry, views driven hungry, and that's why you guys were just pressing them. Actually got Andrew Tate to actually snitch on Sneeko. But that's a different conversation. Like I said, I think a lot of people were disappointed in Andrew Tate as well for throwing people under the bus and not taking accountability, saying, hey, not throwing anyone under the bus, but I was there. My brother was doing this in the club, taking accountability in that sense. But as far as PBD goes, Adam does come off pretty annoying. That's why he doesn't do his Saucecast stream anymore. I think a lot of people weren't too fans of that. He was just trying to keep up with the trends, trying to copy Fresh and Fit or other dating podcasts, and it didn't go nowhere.
But everybody is afraid to call these people out on their crap. That's really what it is. It's just infuriating that this is what the country's come to. And like I said, it's because of fear, cowardice. People care about all the wrong things. Where's the solidarity? It should have been, everybody should have stood shoulder to shoulder and said, you know what? Yeah, we played the song. Fuck off. Not a big deal. Instead, you get, everybody's, not everybody, but people pointing the finger and coming after each other. You get this struggle session, really, on Valuetainment. I'm sorry, what is this, Rachel Maddow? What are we on The View? I mean, it's indistinguishable. If you go and play that song at the club, you're getting the same treatment on Valuetainment as you are on The View. You go on The View with a bunch of broads, and they're going to say, what made you think that's okay? Isn't that offensive? Oh my gosh, that's terrible. These people are terrible. You're the company you keep. I mean, it would be the same thing, wouldn't it be? A bunch of shrieking harpies. It would be indistinguishable from the club. We're in the club smoking cigars, Blue Label only. We're all big shots. Well, why'd you play this song? Come on now. Are we better than that? Gosh, but nobody has the courage of their convictions to just say, I don't feel guilty. I don't feel ashamed. This is stupid. This is ridiculous. This disgusting freak that is the mayor of Miami Beach. Just look at him. Just look at him. The mayor of Miami Beach is a disgusting, ugly freak. And so are the city commissioners. They're disgusting, ugly freaks. And they don't even belong here. You want to know where the mayor of Miami Beach comes from? He left his position at the SEC because he was constantly being accused of being a pervert. So that was plan B. Plan B, after you get chased out for being accused of being a pervert, is then you go and you run Miami Beach on behalf of the Jewish interest there with the other commissioners that are children of Israelis. And we bow to them. He's walking around the city to his kippah. You're not welcome here. Really? Come on. And they got this guy on the show, guys pushing 50, no wife, no kids, talking about, I'm the coolest guy in the club. Bro, you're 50. There are no 50-year-olds that are the coolest guy in the club. I hate to break it to you, hotshot. Jew boy. I take you to the coolest clubs. I'm up all night. Okay, you're an unmarried, childless, 50-year-old man wearing sneakers with your suit. You think you're a big shot because you're in the club? Yeah. You're the biggest shot 50-year-old in South Beach. Seriously, grow the fuck up, all of you. Enough. That's really the rallying cry. Enough. We're sick of all of it. I watched that interview, and it charges me all up all over again. People say I'm moderating, I strike a conciliatory tone. I see stuff like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. That's why we went down this path, because I will never bow to that kind of nonsense. Sorry for playing a song. I should have known better. I should have turned it off. I should have left. A song. Crazy. But people are cowed and they are hurted and they will do anything under social pressure. That's the true test. So anyway, that's my little add-on to last night. I actually saw the thing, and I got to say, direct your fire on at them. Andrew Tate's in a bad situation. I know people don't like what he said. I don't love what he said. But understand the circumstances he's in. If he makes a wrong move, they put him in a cage. They put him in solitary for 10 years. Okay, he goes to the United Kingdom. He's extradited. They put him under the jail. He's treated like a terrorist. Okay, I get it. He didn't even apologize. He didn't double down. He didn't go 10 toes down and everything like that. He didn't really apologize, though. And they got him really under the gun. It's Patrick Bet-David's fault for subjecting him to that. He should have had his back. No loyalty. Every man for themselves. Crabs in a barrel. So, I'll stick up for Tate. I'll stick up for Sneeko. And you know what? The Tates are trying to blame Sneeko. It wasn't just Sneeko. Myron played the song too. Fresh helped him. Sneeko put it on in the car. Clav helped him. I loved it. We all played a part in this. We were all there. And the whole thing is dumb. So everybody should be united and say, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. You're making a bigger deal out of it than it is, but instead it's going to devolve into, people are going to accept the judgment from our Jewish overlords. We're all going to die because of the song. Give me a break. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I got to defend my guys here. I love the Tates, love Sneeko, love Myron, the rest of them, And can niggas live? Can a nigga live? Can we go to the club and play a song that might offend some people, without it turning into an international controversy. So, and I would love to hear the rebuttal. What's the rebuttal to that? You buy into this shit? We got to stop being ruled and blackmailed in this way.
I think Nick is absolutely right. I get slimy sleazeball vibes from Adam Sosnick. That was kind of slimy. Pressing somebody that you did call your friend, that's kind of messed up. And Nick just straight up violating the PBD podcast, violating the mayor. I think there's just friends just hanging out. It's not a big deal. I think to move forward, I think a lot of people just need to stop being so overly emotionally invested to these type of things. If you take a look at all the streamers' response to all of this, Myron, he doubled down. Sneeko doubled down, but he had a more serious tone. Clav obviously doubled down. I'm glad that Nick didn't back down and double down and stuck up for his friends. I think a lot of people were just more so disappointed in the fact that Andrew Tate was the only one that actually folded under pressure and was snitching and actually threw Sneeko under the bus. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace.